Tonight at 5, a man charged in the 2008 death of Brittany Zimmerman is sentenced to life in prison. We have a reaction from the victim's family and more from the courtroom.
Plus, as the midterm election nears, we'll hear from the candidates vying to be Wisconsin's next Attorney General. And a new warning from Wisconsin health officials as RSV cases in children reach an all-time high. What to do if you think your child may have it. You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
He let go of a secret that he had been keeping for 14 and a half years.
Some peace for the family of a UW-Madison student who was killed in her apartment more than 14 years ago. 56-year-old David Call was sentenced to life in prison today after agreeing to a plea deal. It's been 14 and a half years of questions, concerns, and heartbreak for Brittany Zimmerman's family and people in this community.
Zimmerman was found dead in her apartment in downtown Madison back in 2008. Investigators said she had just returned home from classes when someone followed her into her apartment and killed her. Call was previously a person of interest after DNA connected to him at the crime scene. In 2017, a man who was in federal prison with Call in West Virginia told investigators Call confessed to him that he killed Zimmerman. Call was arrested for the murder years later in 2020. Today, closure can finally begin for the family. Judge Chris Taylor handed down a mandatory life sentence along with Call's guilty plea.
But she will decide at a later hearing whether Call may be eligible for extended supervision after 20 years. As Naomi Coles explains, for the family, the heartbreak is hardly less today than it was in 2008. Naomi?
Brittany Zimmerman's aunt spoke in court today, but the rest of the family declined to speak to reporters afterwards. We last spoke to the family in 2018 at her parents' home in Marshfield. That was when the case was just 10 years old.
And we thought it was going to be solved right away. We didn't even consider that we'd be here.
It would be another 4 years after this interview in 2018 before Brittany Zimmerman's parents could sit in this courtroom and hear this from the man who killed her.
And are you pleading guilty because you did intentionally cause the death of Brittany Zimmerman?
Yes, Your Honor.
David Call, a man neighbors and police knew about since days after Brittany's murder in April 2008.
How technology has moved forward in forensics, I think that ended up being key.
In court, his attorney said Call only just last week finally explained what happened that day on Doty Street in Madison. While running his door-to-door scam in the neighborhood, he stopped at Zimmerman's home. High on drugs and paranoid, he lost it when he saw Zimmerman on the phone. Brittany's fiance would find her later, stabbed and strangled.
It was much more about him letting go of a secret and making sure that he provided closure to all of the people who have spent a lot of time and energy and emotion.
For the whole family, the heartbreak is hardly over.
I'm glad that he feels he has a free conscience at this point, but we, as a family, have nothing but pain. We have nothing but daily reminders, and we've had nothing but torture for 14 and a half years.
When you take someone's life, you take a lot of other people's lives, too, in the process. And there's a lot of broken hearts here, I know.
That life sentence handed down today, that was because Call wanted to start serving his sentence right away. His attorneys say Call has health issues the state system is better equipped to handle than a county jail. That decision came over the objection of the family.
Naomi, thank you. Let's get a look now at your certified most accurate forecast. Chief Meteorologist Gary Canulti is on the weather patio. Gary?
Well, skies are starting to cloud up a little bit, but we've had sunshine for much of the day, and it was a pretty nice day overall. You can see a large area of clouds out to the west, but notice as those clouds move into Wisconsin, they kind of thin out a little bit, and areas east of Madison have seen plenty of sunshine. Live view from the Platteville Queen Bee Radio Sky Cam shows some sunshine still filtering through those clouds, but all the rain is out to the west of us, across parts of Minnesota and Iowa, and those showers have been diminishing as they push eastward. In fact, 6-hour future track radar doesn't show any rain moving into our area. Low temperatures this morning, kind of chilly, dropped to 29 in Madison. Areas north and east of Madison were in the 20s. The south and west were in the lower to middle 30s. But current temperatures are in the middle 50s. That dry air warms up pretty quickly. And right now, Madison's at 54. It's 55 in Verona, 55 in Cross Plains, and 55 also up to the north of Wanakee. Look for temperatures to slowly fall into the only lower 40s by late evening, but not expecting any rain tonight. In fact, we're seeing a dry forecast all the way through the middle of next week. I'll tell you how mild it will get in just a few minutes.
Gary, thank you. See you then. Medical examiners have identified the man who died in an officer-involved shooting in Oregon over the weekend. That person has been identified as 21-year-old Jose Jimenez. Officers were called for a weapon violation around 11 Sunday morning. Hours later, they found Jimenez. Sheriff's office officials say a deputy fired their weapon at Jimenez, but it's unclear what led up to that shooting. Autopsy results say Jimenez died from the gunshot wound. A bike rider is dead this afternoon after he was seriously injured in a crash with a car this morning.
It happened on John Nolan Drive, a place that bike riders know can be particularly dangerous. Our Catherine Merck joins us live with more details about the crash and a reminder for those passing through, no matter what vehicle you're on or in. Catherine?
Mark and Susan, we haven't confirmed the victim's name yet, but we do know that he was a 71-year-old man. It's just after 5 o'clock here across from John Nolan, and you can see it's just as busy as it is during the morning hours. There's lots of cars and pedestrians trying to get where they need to go. But for bikers, there's just a small area where they're able to cross the street safely. Take a look at your screen right now. This is a look at what the crash was like this morning. It happened just before 7 a.m. near the intersection of John Nolan and North Shore Drive. Again, Madison police told us the bike rider, a man in his early 70s, was seriously injured and taken to the hospital. They updated us just 20 minutes ago saying he died at the hospital. A member of the board of directors for Madison Bikes told me they've known this is a safety problem spot.
During peak commuting hours, or even on weekends when it's very busy, that island gets full. So it's a difficult crossing of a very busy road, and people get impatient.
Police did not have any additional information about the crash or how it happened, as crews are still investigating the incident. But they did say the driver stayed on the scene and was cooperating. Madison Bikes reminds everyone to be aware of their surroundings at all hours, especially for the sake of bikers. Reporting live in Madison, I'm Catherine Merck with News 3 Now.
Catherine, thank you. Wisconsin Attorney General candidates Josh Kaul and Eric Toney faced off in the only scheduled debate in the race this afternoon. The debate took place at the state bar headquarters in Madison. Toney, a Republican, is currently serving as Fond du Lac County District Attorney. Kaul, a Democrat, the video is flipped there. Sorry about that. Is vying for his second term as Attorney General. Toney has been working to portray himself as a tough-on-crime prosecutor. Kaul has built his campaign around a lawsuit he filed seeking to undo Wisconsin's 1849 abortion ban, as well as his efforts to advance gun control legislation.
My Safer Wisconsin plan would invest over $115 million in communities across the state of Wisconsin into things like community policing and prosecution, officer wellness, recruitment and retention, victim services, and mental health crisis response.
We need an attorney general that's going to be serious. People don't feel safe in their homes. They don't feel safe in their vehicles. They won't let their kids go to parks because they're afraid of stray bullets.
The debate is the only one scheduled in the race before the November 8th election.
New at 5, local healthcare workers, elected officials, and community members gathered today to speak out for reproductive freedom. With the midterm election less than 2 weeks away, frontline healthcare providers say Wisconsinites must have the freedom to make their own medical decisions that are not controlled by extremist politicians. When the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade, a Wisconsin law took effect banning abortion access without exceptions for rape or incest. After a rally at the Capitol, the group marched on to the headquarters of the Wisconsin Republican Party.
David Stearns is stepping down as the Milwaukee Brewers president of baseball operations. Matt Arnold will take over the lead role in overseeing the team. The team said Stearns will still have an advisory role to the team's owner. Arnold has been the Brewers' senior vice president and general manager since 2020. Stearns led the Brewers baseball operations operations during a run of sustained success. The Brewers franchise record string of 4 straight playoff appearances ended this season.
5 months into the investigation of the mass shooting that killed 19 children and 2 teachers at Robb Elementary School in Uvalde, Texas, parents and local leaders continue to demand answers and full transparency. At a public meeting today, some called for the resignation of the head of the Texas Department of Public Safety. Michael George has more.
Why didn't they go in there?
Uvalde families squared off with the head of the Texas Department of Public Safety over officers' delayed response to the school shooting.
If you're a man of your word, then you would retire.
State troopers outnumbered local law enforcement outside Robb Elementary last May, but hesitated to stop the gunman who killed 2 teachers and 19 children.
It wasn't the lack of just the training or the courage that kept them, the law enforcement, from saving lives. It was a fear of the weapon that was used.
There should never have been any delay. There's just no excuse for it.
At Thursday's meeting, families called on DPS Director Colonel Steve McCraw to resign.
If DPS as an institution failed the families, failed the school, or failed the community of Uvalde, then absolutely, I need to go. But I can tell you this right now, DPS as an institution, right now, did not fail the community.
Texas State Democratic Senator Roland Gutierrez, whose district includes Uvalde, demanded more accountability and transparency.
I want to know where each and every one of their leadership were, and they've refused to give me the GPS data of their cars.
Just last week, the department fired a trooper who responded to the Uvalde shooting. The Texas DPS says several other officers are currently under investigation. Michael George, CBS News.
And the head of the Texas Department of Public Safety also says a criminal investigation looking into the police response should be finished by the end of the year. Well, next to 5, Gary has the latest forecast.
Plus, as RSV cases in Wisconsin triple, what a local health official says you can do to help your child if they become sick.
On Wall Street today, the Dow Industrials gained 194 points. The NASDAQ was off 178. The S&P 500 fell 23. We'll be right back.
Some ideas seem good, but aren't.
These guys will buy our house without even seeing it.
Online buyers make offers that seem attractive at first, only to lower or cancel at the last minute. We Buy Ugly Houses won't reduce or cancel our firm cash offers before closing. Call or click to sell quick.
Jurassic Quest is back and bigger than ever. Celebrate Halloween weekend at Jurassic Quest. Come dressed in your favorite costume for a chance to win a prize. And join us for Trick or Treat. This weekend only in Madison. Buy tickets in advance for best selection at JurassicQuest.com.
Need life insurance? SelectQuote found Jacob, 40, a $500,000 policy for only $19 a month. And SelectQuote found his wife, Wendy, a $500,000 policy for only $17 a month.
SelectQuote. We shop, you save.
Welcome. We're so glad you're here. Looking for one of our most capable Ford SUVs? Okay, great. We've got you covered. Spacious interiors, innovative tech, good looks, and a legendary off-road experience. Check out our inventory today, or let us help you place a custom order. Getting into the perfect Ford SUV? Well, it's easier than ever. Yeah, we've got you covered. Now choose FlexBuy on a 2022 Ford Escape or Edge and get 0% financing for 66 months.
Democrats defunded and dispirited our police, creating the worst crime wave in decades. Biden spent us into 40-year high inflation, drove gas prices to record levels, and opened our borders, causing a flood of illegal immigrants and deadly drugs. Mandela Barnes supports all the policies causing you and your family so much pain. He will rubber stamp their liberal agenda. Mandela Barnes sides with radical leftists, not with you.
I'm Ron Johnson, and I approve this message.
If you overdraw your account, Wells Fargo gives you an extra day grace period to avoid the overdraft fee. What if everything came with a grace period? Like accidentally parking where you shouldn't.
Hey, what about this one? Nah, that one gets an extra day. Somebody got lucky.
Like having an extra day grace period? When it comes to overdrafts, you can with Wells Fargo.
Some ideas seem good, but aren't.
Maybe these guys will buy our house
What could go wrong?
Like rookie home buyers who can lower or cancel offers without notice. We Buy Ugly Houses won't reduce or cancel our firm cash offers before closing. Call or click to sell quick.
14 years after the murder of Brittany Zimmerman, her accused killer has pled guilty and was sentenced. News 3 now recaps the case over the years. And we follow up on the bicyclist who was seriously injured after a car crash this morning, tonight at 6.
As Campaign 2022 approaches the finish line, News 3 Now presents a special midterm election preview.
We're spotlighting key races and issues, fact-checking candidates, and hearing the voices of voters in battleground Wisconsin.
Saturday, November 5th at 7 p.m. You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
Welcome back. There is a new warning tonight from officials at UW Health. RSV cases have more than tripled in Wisconsin compared to this time last year. In the first few weeks of October, more than 350 pediatric patients at UW Health Kids tested positive for RSV. Dr. Joshua Ross with American Family Children's Hospital and UW Health says kids had limited exposure to respiratory viruses during the pandemic. So many are getting sick for the first time as their bodies build their immune systems. He says it's important for parents to pay attention to how fast your child is breathing. If they're breathing between 60 to 80 times a minute and they have a fever that won't break, you'll want to take them to a doctor.
So my overall message is awareness that, there's a lot of viruses circulating and you want to keep your family safe, and especially knowing that our healthcare system is strained. That's a reality, but to not be afraid to seek care if their child needs it. And I would start that with a phone call. Start with your primary care doctor to better understand what are your options, because sometimes it can be other things you can do at home.
Dr. Ross does not recommend over-the-counter cough and cold medicines. He says those could actually cause more complications in children, but you can use acetaminophen or ibuprofen to help reduce fevers. Dr. Ross says humidifiers are also helpful, and it's important to keep your child hydrated.
Hospitals across the country are dealing with 3 respiratory illnesses at once. RSV, flu, and COVID are rising concerns about a possible triple-demic this winter. Pediatric hospital beds are almost at capacity in 5 states, with Rhode Island reaching 99%. Along with the rise in RSV cases, the flu is also a growing concern.
Among the children that we've been seeing with COVID and influenza that are requiring hospitalization, 95% have not been fully vaccinated.
The CDC says flu positivity rates are higher than usual for this time of year. While COVID cases remain relatively low, doctors worry about much of the impact all 3 of these respiratory illnesses will have this season. Let's get a look now at your certified most accurate weather. Chief Meteorologist Gary Canulti has the forecast. It doesn't feel like cold and flu season.
No, it doesn't. In fact, Halloween should be a mild one. As we take a look at our trick-or-treat forecast for Monday for Halloween itself, this is going to be one of the better ones around here. Looking for sunny skies, high temperature, 63 degrees. So when the trick-or-treaters head out late afternoon, early evening, we're looking for temperatures well into the 50s. So it should be very comfortable, and it'll be dry. Skies will be mainly clear. 3 things you need to know in the forecast. Look for sunny skies for tomorrow and Saturday. Now, we'll see some clouds tonight, but they should clear out pretty early in the day. And then we're looking for dry weather all the way through Thursday of next week now. So another prolonged period of dry weather, and then those mild temperatures. Highs will be at or above 60 and probably close to 70 by the middle of next week. But those above normal temperatures will continue all the way into next weekend, even behind a cold front. On Doppler track, you can see some very light showers across parts of northwestern Wisconsin, central Minnesota, and then some showers in northwestern Iowa. But they will fizzle before they reach us. In fact, future track precipitation, this is through Friday of next week. Almost no rain at all expected. There will be a system that passes to our south on Sunday that could bring maybe a quarter to half inch of rain from Chicago southward, but that's about as near as any rain gets. And then even as we see the passage of a cold front for Friday and Saturday, less than 1/10 of an inch of rain expected over most of southern Wisconsin. So that is a dry spell. And the U.S. Drought Monitor just updated actually as of today, as of Tuesday, the 25th, you can see abnormally dry soils in yellow, moderate drought conditions in the lighter shades here up around Rhinelander and out toward Eau Claire and La Crosse. And then you start getting into severe drought conditions once you get into parts of central Minnesota and across the country as a whole. You can see how much of the country is being affected by drought or near drought conditions. Almost the entire country with the exception of the Northeast. Now, as we take a look out in the Pacific Ocean, the weather pattern is starting to change. We're starting to see more waviness in the overall jet stream, even a northerly wind aloft into the Hawaiian Islands. So this will start to amp up weather systems. You can see a couple of strong storm systems off the Pacific coast. When you see storm systems off the Pacific coast, that usually starts sending milder air in our direction, and that's why we'll see mild weather here. But in the short term, we got this weak little weather system bringing some clouds tonight, but then we'll see those mild conditions for tomorrow. Once we get past the clouds, we'll be back to sunshine for tomorrow, and temperatures across the Midwest right now are actually pretty comfortable. Mainly in the 50s here, a few 40s where the clouds are thicker, but we're looking for high temperatures to be around 60 by tomorrow afternoon. Planning your night, look for skies to be partly cloudy or clear across southern Wisconsin, 34 in Madison, 38 degrees in Verona, 34 for the low in Platteville, and 35 degrees in Janesville. Look for a high temperature tomorrow of 59 degrees. The skies turn mostly sunny, and the 7 to 10 day forecast calls for high temperatures lower 60s for the weekend into Halloween. Even warmer than that, near 70 Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. A little more wind, and then some shower chances toward the end of next week. Those highs in the mid 50s for next weekend, still a couple of degrees above average. As we check out first warn traffic right now, was looking at the Beltline, just a couple of minor slowdowns right around Monona Drive, the usual spot there. A little bit of a slowdown southbound on I-3990 approaching the Beltline interchange. Right now, about a 15-minute trip either direction on the Beltline between University Avenue and the interstate. Heading out of Madison, no problems down towards Janesville on I-3990 or US 12 Middleton to Sauk City. Downtown to Sun Prairie on East Washington Avenue and US 151 takes you 19 minutes. That's your news for now. First warn traffic.
All right, thank you, Gary. When we come back, an update in our Coats for Kids campaign, and we have some thank yous to give out tonight. That's when we come back.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Vitense Golfland offers 2 golf and multi-sport simulator suites. Play great golf courses with unmatched viewing clarity. Play different sports such as football and soccer. Have fun with Zombie Ball. Vitense Golfland provides simulator fun for everyone.
More than 300 murders just last year. Terror at the Waukesha Christmas Parade. But Defund the Police radical Mandela Barnes still supports eliminating cash bail, releasing dangerous criminals back into our communities. Barnes says,
reducing prison population is now sexy.
Actually, releasing criminals isn't sexy. It's dangerous. Radical Mandela Barnes won't keep your family safe. Senate Leadership Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Finding the Honda you really want just got easier. With a longer limited warranty, so long. Downloadable inspection reports, so you see what we see. Downloadable. And complimentary oil changes within the first year. That's what I'm talking about. You've never been more at peace than with Honda Certified Pre-Owned.
Everything seems to be getting more and more expensive these days. And it's the same for your heating bills. Since it will cost more to heat your home this winter, USA Insulation wants to give you control over your utility bills. Our premium injection foam keeps the cold outside and your warm, comfortable air inside, right where it belongs. Call now before winter and get a $500 early bird discount.
USA Insulation.
Dupixent helps you do more with less asthma and can help you breathe better in as little as 2 weeks. Dupixent is an add-on treatment for specific types of moderate to severe asthma that's not for sudden breathing problems. Dupixent can cause allergic reactions that can be severe. Get help right away if you have rash, chest pain, worsening shortness of breath, tingling or numbness in your limbs. Tell your doctor about new or worsening joint aches and pain or a parasitic infection. Don't change or stop asthma medicines, including steroids, without talking to your doctor. Ask your specialist about Dupixent.
I'm Mandela Barnes, and I approve this message.
All units, all units. Reports of an abortion at Central Hospital. Officers needed to detain doctor.
If Ron Johnson has his way, he wouldn't just ban abortions. Doctors could go to jail for it.
And Johnson's tried for over a decade. He even co-sponsored a bill with no exceptions for rape, incest, or the life of the woman, and said if women don't like an abortion ban, they can just move. But it's Ron Johnson who doesn't belong in Wisconsin.
Vitense Golfland offers a free Top Tracer golf range experience. Obtain valuable shot information with warm-up, track your shot history with My Practice, play virtual golf, long drive, points game, go fish. Only at Vitense Golfland.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
After 36 drawings in a row with no grand prize winner, the Powerball jackpot now stands at $800 million. The cash value of the prize is now nearly $384 million. It would be the second largest prize in Powerball history. The largest of all time was $1.56 billion in January of 2016. The next drawing is on Saturday.
Well, we've got some thank yous to say here at News 3 Now. Thank you to that thank you goes to the community and everybody who supported this year's Coats for Kids campaign. We had a great final push that put us over the 4,000 coat mark. You helped us ensure thousands of kids in our area will have warm coats to wear this winter, and we're so grateful for your help. Today, meteorologist Gary Canelti stopped by the Community Action Coalition warehouse in Madison to give away some of the thousands of coats we collected.
So the big thing I'd love to say is the generosity of Dane County this year. We had over 4,000 coats donated through Klinke Cleaners and other vendors that we had collect coats this year. Klinke cleaned all of them. And what we really saw was that it was the most coats we've ever had, but we've also had more need than we've ever had before.
If you are in the Madison area and can get in your car quickly, this event goes until 6 o'clock at the Community Action Warehouse at 1902 Wright Street in Madison, just north of MATC. We'd love to help you if you're in need. No speeding, no please. A final check of your first warn forecast when we come back.
Black November starts now at Ashley. For a limited time, save 55% on Beauty Rest Select Hybrid mattresses and receive a comforter, 2 pillows, and a 4-piece sheet set for free. And get 60 months special financing with no money down. Happening now only at Ashley.
Mornings can be a little crazy. Whether you're rushing to get your teeth brushed or cleaning up after breakfast before the bus gets here, Tuscany faucets make it easy. You don't have to sacrifice style for function. Tuscany's dependable, so there's nothing to worry about. And when there's finally time to relax, you can focus on doing what you love. Tuscany, quality you can see, only at Menards.
Hey, we're here at the local farmers market where Informed Choice Insurance Agency is offering fresh, hand-picked local Medicare. What do you mean when you say shop local for Medicare?
A lot of Medicare health plans have benefits that are specific to your county. So why would you call a national 1-800 number when your local Medicare plans have all the bells and whistles the national TV ads promise, only better?
Don't be fooled by national TV hype. When it comes to your Medicare options, keep it local with Informed Choice Insurance Agency, and their services are free.
A 12-year-old girl can't legally drive a car. At 12, she can't even vote. But if this little girl were tragically raped or a victim of incest and became pregnant, radical Tim Michaels would force her to deliver the baby. He said it's, quote, not unreasonable for the state government to mandate rape victims to give birth. Would it be unreasonable if he were forcing this on you? Let him know on Election Day.
Jurassic Quest is back and bigger than ever. Celebrate Halloween weekend at Jurassic Quest. Come dressed in your favorite costume for a chance to win a prize. And join us for Trick or Treat. This weekend only in Madison. Buy tickets in advance for best selection at JurassicQuest.com.
Do you have an idea for an invention, but you don't know what to do next? Call InventHelp. They've been helping inventors for 35 years. Call today for free information.
Call 800-550-5543.
Welcome. We're so glad you're here. Looking for one of our most capable Ford SUVs? Okay, great. We've got you covered. Spacious interiors, innovative tech, good looks, and a legendary off-road experience. Check out our inventory today or let us help you place a custom order. Getting into the perfect Ford SUV? Well, it's easier than ever. Yeah, we've got you covered. Now choose FlexBuy on a 2022 Ford Escape or Edge and get 0% financing for 66 months.
Black November starts now at Ashley. For a limited time, take a bonus 20% off your purchase of $19.99 or more at checkout. Plus, get 60 months special financing, no minimum and no money down. Happening now only at Ashley.
Coming up here on the CBS Evening News, the good news that the economy grew slowly in the last quarter. Is a recession avoidable? Plus, families of the Uvalde shooting victims call for the resignation of the Director of Public Safety. The new details. That's tonight on the CBS Evening News.
Finally at 5, do you think you're a puzzle master? Costco is about to challenge that notion. The store is selling what it dubs to be the world's largest jigsaw puzzle.
Made up of 60,000 pieces, the final product is 29 feet long and 8 feet tall. To make it easier to tackle, the jigsaw can be divided into 60 smaller puzzles. It features a map of the world and includes famous landmarks. The giant jigsaw will cost you $599, wow, including shipping and handling. Where would you put that together? Who's got a room that big?
In your garage, I guess.
You know, the very first jigsaw puzzle I ever had was the 50 states, you know, having to put them in there.
Well, then you should tackle this.
We'll do it as a newsroom project.
You got plenty of free time.
Well, yeah, when it's quiet out there, not much going on. Sunshine giving way to some clouds, but we'll see a nice day for tomorrow and a pretty nice weekend as well.
Looking good. Thank you, Gary.
Thanks for your help today, Mark.
You're welcome.
Hope to see you back here tonight at 6.